Okay.
Hello, 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 beautiful people. How are you today? Today is a very, very special moment for me because today is episode number 50. 50 people of Relaxing Raunchy Relationship podcast with me, Ingrid Galloway. And I am being accompanied today with a very special guest, beautiful lady named Melinda Patterson. And Mel is an accountant, tax agent, licensed real estate agent, mortgage broker, interior designer. I wonder what else can she do? She is the founder of the 8888 group of companies, and she has been involved in all aspects of assisting clients with their wealth creation and wealth protection. She broke records and won awards for record volumes of home loans written with 2 banks that were the only one who would only do business with her company back then, as they were just starting out. They have since expanded to over 100 lenders that will assist most clients' ability to obtain finance. And this includes, their tax affairs, home and investment loans, self-managed super funds, assisting with client property purchases. Amazing! She can do all these things. So welcome, Mel.
Thank you for such a lovely, warm introduction. And hello, everybody. So lovely to meet you and to be here today. And lovely to be in your company. Ingrid Galloway is the founder, relationship coach, and chief relaxation officer in KAHYANGAN, which means heaven. She has been a relationship coach for 12 years and a spa therapist for 22 years. Wow, that's a long time. She practices from KAHYANGAN in Sydney and from clients' homes, offices, and hotel rooms, online and from retreat locations. Her work is always focused on stress, relaxation, and relationships, always ready to look after and loving and not so loving couples, and broken, lonely-hearted singles. She does one-on-one coaching, group workshops, and virtual retreats in personal retreats. It sounds amazing. It sounds like something everybody needs. I think every one of my clients and friends and myself would definitely benefit from your services.
Thank you so much.
I'm dying to hear more.
Yeah, so welcome. So I always feel intrigued, interested to find out what my guest, why. So Mel, what is your why? Why do you do what you do?
Look, I like helping people. Initially, I started as business. Obviously, we all do that. And I like helping people. There's nothing more satisfactory than helping and watching clients' wealth grow, wealth creation. I find that if with people that have financial security, they often have home security, relationship security, and things go hand in hand, even the way they raise their children. It's the ability not to necessarily go and buy a private jet, but the ability to say yes to things, to make choices. It gives you actually gives you choices.
Yes.
I love innovation. I like the idea of my clients being ahead of the trend and having opportunities. I think it's very, very rewarding. There's nothing nicer than seeing a young couple or an older couple or anybody succeed. And it's not what we make, it's how we make our money work for us and what you keep.
Yeah.
And quite often there's
The journey is important, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. There's a massive misconception, and because we have I'm a tax agent also, but because we have tax agents out there that we're basically form fillers, and really it's like going to a doctor. You have a doctor for the different times of your life. Obviously, you've got your GP for your general practitioner, which is what a tax agent is. But if you're, I guess, pregnant, you're looking at getting to a specialist. You're looking at going to somebody that specializes in childbirth, gynecology, all of those things. If you've got a heart condition, you're going to a heart specialist. So accounting really is much more detailed than just form filling. And the reason that we went into mortgage broking was that we spent a lot of time fixing up people's loans. We find that, mortgage broking back in the day, now it's a diploma, but back in the day, it used to be a weekend course, and people would go, to Parramatta or to the city, do their 3-day course at the Park Royal Hotel. And next thing, people would have home loans that weren't holistic, and we would look at them and the percentages would be wrong. They wouldn't be set up for the correct gearing. And quite often we found that there were implications at tax time that impacted the client quite dramatically.
Yes.
And the other thing with mortgage broking is it's fairly, in some degrees, it's largely unregulated if you're not an Australian credit license holder. And we have a thing called best interest duty. So mortgage brokers get paid by commission, and the commissions are all different from all of the banks. So there is, I guess, a pattern with mortgage broking where, you know, brokers will tend to choose the most favourable commission structure for them, hence putting clients in banks that may not necessarily be the right bank or product for them. So hence the reason for a more of a multi-purpose business.
Yeah, yeah. So amazing. That's great. So you're looking after your clients holistically.
We try to. I think if you look after somebody holistically, everything else falls into place.
Yeah.
And the other thing, and this probably sounds quite ruthless, if our clients make money, we make money.
Yes.
So right. It's a bit of a no-brainer.
Yeah, you work hard, you better be rewarded for it. So
and it's a bit of a no-brainer. So, you know, it works for everybody. If everybody's winning, it's happy days. How about yourself?
So my why is I came from Indonesia at the age of 21 to escape from my mother. Oh, sounds stupid.
Oh, I'm dying to hear that story one night.
Not a very good reason to get married, but I was in love with my ex-husband then. So came here to get married at the tender age of 21. Unfortunately, after 10 years, it didn't work. So I left after 3 attempts because it was an abusive relationship.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
In the journey to heal myself, I went to self-development seminars, seeing a couple of therapists, and also went back to college to study counseling and life coaching. And straight away, I knew that I would be a coach, and my niche would be in relationship because, you know, I've experienced a lot of rock bottom moments. So I feel compassion and...
So it's very personal for you. It's part of a personal journey.
Personal, definitely. So if I can get out of the shit, which is big shit, then you can too, you know, with help, with support. So I always encourage people to put their hand up for support. It's not shameful. Don't feel guilty in asking for support. You know, I am here to support and inspire others in ways that I can through my passion. That's my purpose, life purpose. And yeah.
And do you find it helps you grow as a person as well?
Amazing. Amazing.
I can imagine.
People think that they hire me as a coach. No, actually, I learn more from my clients, you know, so it's not just about them learning from me or from themselves rather, but I also learn from them. So it's very rewarding for me. It's very rewarding work.
Which is fantastic. And if you love going to work, you do it well and it stops being work.
Yeah, definitely. Enjoy it. I love it. Yeah.
Which is fantastic, which is, I guess, what we all ultimately strive to do.
That's right. Yes. So, Mel, I am curious about your 3 tips. 3 tips about managing your money. I think you have heaps of, you know.
Look, I think the most important thing for couples and singles is creating a realistic budget. And we have free budgeting programs. I'm happy to send them out to your viewers. More than happy to do that. But quite often when we look at people's budgets, they've forgotten really basic things, and they're basic things and expenses like, I don't know, like a magazine, a cup of coffee, all those sort of things. And you've got to work backwards with a budget. So if people don't stick to a budget, they can't get ahead. Ultimately, it is the key to everything, is creating a budget, working towards that. I guess setting some goals and working out where you want to be at different points in your life. And it needs to be realistic. You know, if somebody comes in and says to me, I want to be worth $10 million in 10 years' time and they've got no savings, it's fairly unlikely that it's going to happen. So you can't set unrealistic goals.
Yes.
It's one of those things that you need to manage clients' expectations against, you know, real outcomes.
Yeah, just like if you say that, oh, I want to attract a man with $10 million worth, but then you don't go out and expose yourself to anyone, then that's unrealistic.
Very unrealistic, unless you're on like a sugar daddy site.
Go on. What's your next tip?
The next tip is to keep your tax affairs in order. And it's a boring tip and it's something, but keeping good records, you keep records for everything because you don't know if you're using a true accountant and not a tax agent, you'd be amazed at what we can claim. There are things that we can claim, there are different things. And the other thing is, if you don't keep receipts, there are penalties. So the last thing you want to do is incur any costs unnecessarily. But quite often you can claim the strangest things. And people just don't know. People aren't aware. And it's our job is like the specialist, I guess, to find the cancer, to find where we can legally save a client some money, to find some deductions, claim back money. And people need to know. And there's some huge differences that in the actual amount that you get back in your return. And it's huge. And that's money in your pocket. So it's very, very important.
Exactly. Hire the right people.
100%. And I'm sure people must. So what about you? What's your next tip?
Yes. So my 3 tips about relationships, because I give different tips at different weeks. Today, I would like to focus on the singles. For singles to watch out for the red flags. So today I'm connecting with singles in my tribe and your tribe because you will share this to your tribe as well.
Absolutely.
I am a believer in love. So you heard that I have been divorced before and you know that now I'm happily married and I have 2 kids. And I want to encourage others, if you have been burnt in the past, but if you have this burning flame or longing in your heart to have a partner, then don't give up. Please don't give up. You may have not yet found the right person for you, but the right person is out there somewhere. But if you're content being single forever, then yay, you go girl or you go dude, that's okay. Absolutely fine. If you feel content being single forever, absolutely fine. But if you don't feel content, don't give up.
I think that's really important.
Yeah, yes. And in saying that, it is important though to recognize the popular red flags in potential love partner when you're ready to put yourself back out there in the meat market again. Number 1 is stonewalling. So stonewalling is a refusal to communicate or cooperate. So body language may indicate and reinforce this by avoiding contact and engagement with the other party. So just looking out for these signals. Of course, during dating, when you're dating, I want you to be open and engage with the person, but just be aware of.
That's similar to ghosting. No.
The red flags.
So is that similar to ghosting where somebody just disappears?
Different.
Okay.
Yeah. So stonewalling, you already on a date and you're starting connecting, but they tend to avoid engagement. So it's hard to engage with a stonewaller. So they tend to deflect certain conversation, especially if it's a hard one, giving vague responses, refusing to answer questions, or keep responding to questions with asking additional questions. So not really answering you to the point, but keep asking questions. It's like, so where's my answer? Why you keep asking questions on top of questions, right? They want to get their way in a situation and refuses to communicate with you until you agree with them. Until you agree with them.
That's the point then.
Yes. So my question is, how can you connect deeply with someone like this? Very difficult. Number 2, gaslighter. So gaslighting is a form of psychological abuse where a person or a group makes someone question their sanity, their perception of reality, or memories. Now, people experiencing gaslighting often feel confused, anxious, and unable to trust themselves. They may deny a lot of pretending to forget events, or how they occurred. Say, giving you an example, denial having said or done something in the past, or even accuse someone of making things up. And so you go, am I going mad? Like my partner or new lover keeps telling me that my thoughts and my feelings are not real. Now, how frustrating will that be? Very frustrating. And number 3, narcissistic people. Can I gently say, for example, Donald Trump?
I'll agree with that one.
So that's quite typical narcissistic personality. Narcissistic can be divided by 2 types. So one is malignant narcissist. So malignant narcissistic people has 0 empathy. They're aggressive, threatens to leave all the time. There is no self-reflective capacity. Whereby normal people, we often ask ourselves, will my words and my action affect other people? But narcissistic people just don't have that capacity. Secondly, the second type is covert narcissistic. So they're always the victim, will blame everyone else always, never take responsibility, contempt for other people's success, angry when confronted, and they're never happy. Now, can you imagine how much fun that will be? Having a relationship with someone that everything is just all about them. I mean, I feel drained just thinking about it, not even having a relationship with them. So yeah, those are my 3 tips.
Wow, it's interesting. It's really, really interesting. I guess people's psychology must be something that just keeps you fascinated.
Oh, definitely. Human behavior definitely fascinates me. Yes. Now, people, after talking all those heavy stuff, talking about red flags, let's go to the fun part. Guessing Mel's true and false statement. So Mel said, number 1, I met some friends on Facebook and arranged to meet up with them in India. Wow. Number 2, my son met friends on Facebook and arranged to meet up with them in India. Which one is true? I reckon you are quite adventurous. I met some friends on Facebook and arranged to meet with them in India. Statement number 1. Is that correct?
You're right.
Woo!
Yeah, many years ago, it's a funny story. To de-stress, I was in a fairly cooker pressure sort of job, very, very busy. I was out on my own as a single mother with the business. And for some bizarre reason, one particular night, and this is embarrassing, on Facebook, I started playing a game called Farmville, which was like a kid's game. And long story short, I became addicted to it. And the guys on the farm surrounding me, it turned out that one of them was a banker in India. The other one was a lawyer in America. And there was myself and then a couple of other people. And we all would we got to the point, because we're very competitive business-wise and we're all in a similar sort of industry, that we all were looking after each other's farms in different time zones as a team effort, as a community effort to win. So Kamal, who lives in India, said, why don't we all meet up? Because we're all in the middle of traveling this particular time. Why don't we all meet up? And I said, done. So I was traveling with my older son, Stuart, and I remember being at the airport in Malaysia, and he said to me, so how well do you know these people? I said, I've never met them. And he said to me, it was so funny, he would have been about 17 or 18 at the time. He said, and you lecture me? And but they are still friends today, like sort of 13 years later. And it's just been a wonderful experience.
Amazing. So this Indian dude and this American dude,
yes,
still friends.
And they've both been to Australia, and I've stayed at both of their homes and met their wives and their families, and their daughter's been out. One of the American guys' daughter's been out to Australia, and yeah, it's been an amazing friendship. And it all started from Farmville, which was really, really, we thought we might, tell a lie and say we met on Mafia Wars or something a little bit more growing up than Farmville, but it was actually Farmville. It was quite therapeutic ploughing those virtual crops.
So cute.
So your question, Ingrid, is Ingrid says that her daughter vomited in a rental car in the middle of a busy freeway, or Ingrid's husband vomited in a rental car in the middle of a busy freeway. I'm going to go with Andy.
Oh, right. You are incorrect.
Oh, I thought it would be the red herring. I was wrong. There you go.
So
I
yeah,
want to hear
a
this
few
story.
years back when we only had the one daughter, now we have two daughters. So yeah, unfortunately, during our holiday, mini holiday, rent a blue car, rental car, nice. And then on the way back home, we had to go through this highway. And then suddenly,
Oh, no.
this smell. And I looked back and like, oh, Bubby, no, she was full of
Oh,
vomit.
no.
And I said, stop, stop, stop. And he said, oh, hang on a minute. Like, I'm driving in the middle of a busy highway here. Hang on a minute. I said, she has vomited. So eventually we had to stop. And I open our suitcase, get baby wipes, get the
Oh,
towel.
you had everything with you. Well prepared, mother.
Mother in action. Talking about mother in action is like instinct, mother instinct. Okay, gotta get this, gotta get that. In the and cars just like zoom, zoom, zoom.
Oh, how funny.
This is dangerous, but hopefully nobody came to us, crashing us and be dead. But yeah, what do you do?
Oh, it's just been,
Bloody
oh,
kids.
it's been so good catching up with you.
I know. Thank you. Well, one last question for you.
Absolutely.
What do you do to either relax or add raunchiness into your relationship?
Oh, gee, that's so. Well, at the moment, I'm currently single. There's nothing raunchy happening there. But to relax, I guess catch up with friends and family.
Yeah.
For me, friendship and people are really, really important. I like people. And it's not about, when my father passed away, it became very, very real to me. He was a hotelier, and when he passed away, he accumulated a lot of assets, and he was learning Italian at university and planning to rent a villa in Tuscany and spend 3 months overseas and do all of those things. And he passed away a week after his 72nd birthday and never did any of it. And it made me realize that when you're lying on your deathbed or it's your last day, the things that you remember aren't the work that you've done, the assets you've accumulated, the cars you've driven, it's the memories. So for me, relaxing is about creating memories, going to bed with a smile on my face, laughter, being around good people, warm-hearted, good food, cheap or cheerful or nice or a mixture. But it's about the people, the relationships, the connections. It's about those genuine interactions. And for me, that's how I relax. I find that that's my escape. I have a fairly, I guess, data-driven job, and it's quite involved. I spend a lot of time in front of a computer, a lot of time crunching numbers, and and it can be quite isolating. So having people, and it's all about warmth and connection and feeling something. So for me, relaxing is about feeling something and taking something from the day.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love that, definitely. So thank you, beautiful people, for watching and listening to our collaboration, episode 50. So this is very special.
It's a special number too.
Yeah, very special.
I know, I feel honored. Thank you so much for including me in such an important episode.
So don't forget to like and subscribe my YouTube channel, Ingrid Galloway. And Mel, how can people connect with you if they want more support from you?
Okay, our website is 8888group.com.au. We're on the internet. Be very happy to help anybody. And if anybody's looking for some budget calculators, more than happy to send them out at no cost.
Wonderful. And people, if you want to ask more about relationship issues and ways to relax, you can connect with me. Go to my website and ask for my free chat, www.kahyangan.com.au. That is KAHYANGAN.com.au, and ask for a free chat with me. So thank you, people. Thank you, Mel, for coming to this podcast. Very special occasion. And I wish you well. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.